So welcome back guys to We Talk Boxing, and in this video I'm going to be talking about this weekend's main event between Ben Whittaker versus Liam Cameron. Couldn't get my words out there. Now, this event is going to be taking place in Birmingham Resorts World, and it sees the pair meet for the second time in their careers. Now, the first fight was a lot of controversy between the actual fighters and the actual fight itself. The score in the end was a draw, but it was controversial in how it became a draw because of both fighters going over the rope. Ben Whittaker couldn't continue, even though Liam Cameron went over the rope as well. So there's a lot of controversy, a lot of backlash, and that led to both fighters obviously agreeing for the rematch, and they both have said that they're going to set things right in this fight. So this is pretty much where we are today. But for those that haven't watched the first fight, I would suggest go back and watch it. It's only a 6-rounder. 6 out of 10 rounder, so it only lasted 6 rounds, so there's not a lot of rounds there to watch, but it was a competitive fight throughout. But my personal view and opinion is that if that fight would have went the distance, then I would have said that Liam Cameron more likely would have became the victor on the night, because he was looking the stronger of the two. He was winning the fight at that time, in my opinion. But yeah, I just genuinely felt that he would have went on to win it. And sometimes in your career, when you fight fighters like Liam Cameron, sometimes some fighters like that have your number. Now we all know that Ben Whittaker is a rising star in boxing, rising star in the light heavyweight division. Got good credentials behind him in terms of his amateur pedigree, but he underestimated Liam Cameron, sorry, in the first fight, in the fact that he's come out recently. They've done the seconds out Sky Sports interview between the pair, and he's pretty much said that he had things going on in the background, didn't really train right, etc., etc. And the reason why obviously he couldn't continue in the fight is because he had multiple injuries from that fall as well. So for me, when you come up against someone like Liam Cameron and they make it difficult, awkward, like tough in the ring on the night, and then you're looking for a way out, and something like that happens, and it's an opportunity to get out the fight, knowing that potentially that you may be winning on scorecards, or maybe that it might become a no contest, or it might become a draw, then you're going to take it. And that's what I feel that Ben Whittaker did. But lucky for him, he didn't lose the fight. It was a draw. Yes, he's come out and said during that interview that Liam Cameron celebrated as if he pretty much won a world title. But, he went in there against the rising star in boxing, the prospect, the person that's meant to go on to become world champion and win multiple belts, etc. And he made it awkward and tough for him. And that's what Liam Cameron is. Liam Cameron is one of these fighters that if you don't turn up and you expect it to be an easy night's work, you're in for a big shock. Now, for me personally, I'm going to go through both fighters in a second for those that don't know who they are. But for me personally, I see this going in Liam Cameron's direction. This is just my personal thoughts right now. I see it's a 10-round contest. I'm going to favour Liam Cameron 55-45. I think he's just got Ben Whittaker's number, and sometimes in boxing that happens. Like, Ben Whittaker could come up against 10 different opponents who are probably better ranked or with better records than Liam Cameron and beat them. But sometimes when you're fighting Liam Cameron's style, where they make it awkward, they make it hard for you're not able to get off your shots or look as slick or whatever you want to do. it's a hard night's work, and you have to be mentally prepared and physically prepared to go into war, and that's pretty much what it is. So for me, I'm gonna say that Liam Cameron wins this on points, but I want Ben Whittaker to go out there and show me that I'm wrong. I want him to go out there and show me that he has that little bit extra, like especially when the going gets tough, and he's gonna be tested again, and we're gonna find out how he handles that. Because for me, this is his biggest test to date, and as I said, he may go on for his next 10 fights and not be tested how Liam Cameron's gonna test him, but he has to go out there and prove it. Now, for those that don't know both boxers, Liam Cameron has been around for many years. He's got a record of 32 bouts, professional bouts, 23 wins with 10 KOs by knockout. He's had 6 losses. None of them were knockout defeats, and he's got 1 draw in his record, and that draw came to Ben Whittaker recently. He's ranked 106 in the world according to BoxRec and 17 in the UK rankings, and he's 34 years of age, 6 foot, so he's very tall for the weight. He's orthodox from Sheffield, and he started his career in 2009, so back in the days he started his career. And he's got a 43.48% KO rating, and he's known as the Cannonball. Now, looking on his record on BoxRec, the only 2 noticeable names that I could tell on his record, people that I know, are Lyndon Arthur and Ben Whittaker. The other people on his record, to me anyway, are nobodies, people that I don't really know. You guys probably know a little bit more about the people that he's took on, whether or not they're good, whether or not they're decent, I don't really know. But one thing that you can see from his actual BoxRec record is that his last fight prior to 2023 was 2018, so he had some time out the sport. I think there was, don't like 100% believe, I think there was some issues with drugs or whatever, or stuff behind the scenes, I'm not too sure, but that kept him out of boxing. And obviously he returned back in 2023, and from that return in 2023, he only lost once, and that was to Lyndon Arthur in 2024. So yeah, things happen outside of boxing, and sometimes that keeps you outside of boxing, which is a shame, because who knows where he could have potentially have been now. He does remind me of a British version of a Beterbiev. I was going to say Beterbiev. But let's see what he could do on Saturday night. But for those that don't know Ben Whittaker, you should all know him. He's pretty much been everywhere in the spotlight recently since he's turned pro. But in terms of Ben Whittaker, 27 years of age, had 9 professional bouts to date. 8 wins, 5 KOs are out of his 8 wins. No losses on his record, and that 1 draw to Liam Cameron. Now, he's ranked 68 in the world, 13 according to BoxRec in the UK. He's known as the Surgeon. He's 6'3" in height, so again, he's quite tall for the weight. He's from West Brom in the Midlands as well. He started his professional career in 2022. So again, 5 KOs out of 8 wins, brings you to a 62.5% KO rate as well. But as I said, he hasn't really been in there with anyone to date yet, apart from Liam Cameron, because he's still building his resume. Now, as I said, this is by far his toughest opponent, and we saw that in the first fight. But this fight would tell me a lot about Ben Whittaker in regards to, for me, how far he's going to go. Now, it's either a make or break. Now, for me, if he's going to make it, he's going to determine whether or not he goes out there. All the things that have been said prior to this fight, and you know what I mean, the issues with not continuing fighting. He needs to go out there and put on a performance. He doesn't have to go out there and knock him out. He has to go out there, you know what I mean, and show that he's a class above Liam Cameron. He has to go out there, use his boxing skills, and try and hurt Liam Cameron, keep him at bay, and just prove that you're the better boxer. And if that knockout comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. It's one of them. Can't do nothing about that. But for me, I just want to see how he reacts, because he took a long hiatus, like time out from boxing, I should say, from that issue. I think it was, when was it? Was it October? Yeah, October. So from October, we hadn't heard of Ben Whittaker. You know what I mean? We probably heard like one interview from like October to like February. You know what I mean? That was it. So he went missing. So for me, I want to see what he has to offer, because Liam Cameron's going to make it so difficult for him. But we just need to see how he responds, Ben Whittaker. But these are my thoughts in regards to the fight on the weekend. As it stands right now, I'm making Liam Cameron the favourite. But the first round on Saturday night would tell me if Ben Whittaker's going to win it. If he doesn't go out there being all confident, keeping Liam Cameron at bay, or using his boxing skills, then for me, I'm just going to stick with what I say, and I'm going to say that Liam Cameron wins on points. But these are my thoughts. You guys can let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, please subscribe and comment. Bless.